Hi, welcome back. So to continue our MERN revision, this will going to be the part 2 of our front-end dev, and particularly we're going to be working on the CRUD operation. By the way, this is our output now that we are managed to execute. The room booking is pre-designed with this rendered form already. Right, so let's go back to our CRUD operation. We are now asked to create like a component modifying the room booking.js with a particular UI for a certain users to book the hotel accommodation. Say the user will going to provide the user ID, room, and etc. Right. This we're going to calculate, meaning we're going to work with a function here, and we're going to send the information to our web server later on if we have already implemented our issues, and that will definitely save through a MongoDB with the use of our express routes. And we're going to open this file and completely creating this following variables. Okay, so without further ado, let's now jump into our room booking.js. So this is an empty one, so which means either it's a function, arrow function, or a typical function booking, room booking function. It's already been a part of your workable files in this project, and even the import React from React is an optional over there. So we can uh, dump over here our create states variable later, because we're gonna be working with our React hooks. Yes, that will be a part of still a part of our front end development part 2. All right, and of course we will going to be working later on with some calculation, creating a custom function name as a book room, and we'll calculate the bill as per required formula or condition over here, right? So we have this creating function following state variables using React hook. We might be using the guest ID, room number, number of days, room type as a part of the user's inputs, and total bill daily, and of course with the response message or MSG that will store in our server. So let's start working on this one. Okay, of course we're gonna be needing definitely importing our React hooks, and for the meantime we'll just use the use state. Yeah, the use state, and that will definitely from our React, of course, right? Okay, and we could start working on the state variables over here. So maybe I can just remove this one, or either like let me put it on there and remove this part. Okay, so let's start defining a constant now, right? So let's make this one a bit faster. Okay, as per we need, I think we need a guest ID there with the camel case, and let's also make a set guest um oops a guest ID as well, right? And this will going to be equal to our use state. Okay, and it would be an empty one first, right? So this will be our first create a state variable. Okay, so maybe I can just copy paste this. We'll just modify it later on. So what's the next one? We need okay, so let's put it side by side over here. Okay, guess. Okay, we need also a room room number. Okay, this will be room no. Okay, room no number, and this will be set. Okay, room. Okay, no. Okay, so it would be make it a number. Okay, so let's just set as to 0. Okay, number of days. I think we need also number of days. Yes, yeah, no, number of days, and later room type. Okay, so this is num and nos, nos, no of days. Okay, okay, I think I have double O there. Okay, but no problem. And we'll replace this one, and we'll make it another as a number. Okay, and one more, we need room type. I think we need a room type. Oops. Right. Okay, we're gonna be variables string. Okay, this is room type. Right, right, let's room type, and this will going to be set room type as well. And let's say it's make this one as the room type will going to be either, later on the room type will going to be either standard, right, a deluxe, or suite. Okay, so we're going to use that category. Let's say this is standard, right, standard, and let's another room type. This is by default later, of course. And I think we need also daily. Okay, daily rate. Okay, and most likely total bill later. Right, so we need a daily rate as well. Maybe I'll just make it this. Let's copy this one. Right, so we have a daily rate. Look at this one, daily rate. Oops. The daily rate, so will be a set daily rate. Right, and we'll make it by default 0. And I think we still needs total bill. Right, this one is total bill. Okay, set total bill will be our variable in our, right, will be 0 as well. And then I think we need now the last part will be the message, right, response message. Let's make that one as a string. Right, this would be msg message. Okay, let's also modify it with state set as message response. Okay, so there you go. So let me save this one, and some error. The React been identified already. What is that? Alright, so we don't need this one anymore. Save it. Right, so I think of course the one thing we're getting are the state variables which not in use. Okay, so we can add the corresponding respective state variable dynamically, display the values UI screen. Okay, the bill amount will be going to be 100 reals, the green color. Okay, book room, let's create a book room function later, and this will going to be calculating the standard is 35 reals, deluxe is 50 reals, no 25 standard, 35 for deluxe. Okay, so meaning we need now to create a function here. So this one is a function. Maybe I could stop somewhere here. Wait, I need to modify this one so that we could have this later on as a references. Right, so I'll stop over here. Okay, let me just cut this one and make space there, and I will stop over here. This would be later for the calculation of our total bill, and maybe later for the issues part will be over here. Right, so see, this will not harm you because this is just part of the comments, of course. Oops. So if I save this one, I will still be getting, okay, no error there. All right, so this time let's make a constant book room. Okay, I'll just define it here. So take note that the constant definition should be is still inside the function of our room booking. Okay, constant, we'll name this one as book room as per instruction there. Let's make now an arrow function, and perhaps this will going to be open and close bracket there. All right, there. So we'll just make like a let here, so this will be locally declare. So we need a rate, okay, for this standard, of course, for these different charges that the hotel will give you daily rates. 25 reals if we're going to be standard. So let's make a logic here. If a room type, okay, I think we have here a room type here. If the room type, you can make an open and close parenthesis now, which would gonna be strictly triple equal, will gonna be string standard, right? And let's make a JavaScript here that this will going to be, the rate will be equals to 25, right? But however, if we have another else if, right, the room type will going to be what is that one? It would be deluxe, right? Deluxe. Okay, this will be a deluxe. Okay, this will going to be a 35. And another else if we have a room type which is suite. Oops, spelling. Okay, suite with the E, right? Yes. And how much is that? It will going to be a 50 real daily. Right, 50 real. All right, so 50 example. And of course, based on the formula that mentioned over here, the total bill, the number of days guest stayed multiplied by a daily rate. So we need to assign another variable here, no? So I think I need to make a total here. So let's set another variable here. So which means let total will be equals to rate multiplied by number of days. Okay, of course the number of days is here. All right, number of days, and we will make the set daily rate will be a new variable on the state variable here. We're going to be based on the rate, right? And I think one more set total bill will be with the total. Now this is the variable that we just declared on there. So I think that is this will gonna be it. Else if, so for the meantime, okay, we have to render this one. Definitely we don't have any problem at the moment. Only those variable wasn't been used, it's just assigned, right? So here actually is an optional. Later we can do that one at the moment. But if you really want to work with completing our completing our UI screen as shown, just like whenever we're typing this information from our form, it has to be displayed at the bottom. So we need to also to invoke some on change in our DOM, and just to work on that one, probably I could use this guest ID at the moment, right? The guest ID, and the guest ID input type text with the self closing tag. Maybe I can use now on change. Alright, on change JavaScript. That is E. Right, let's use the variable E. Arrow, which is equal to I think I haven't done the set guest ID yet. Do I have that one already? Yes, I have. Guest ID or set guest ID. Okay, this one is doesn't same with our variable. Okay, set guest ID. Okay, so every time we type that guest ID, the guest ID will also be displayed over here in our DOM, but it will be displayed later at the bottom part using a JavaScript component. So this will be target. We're gonna be set into E. The target, right? Target will be target with the value. Of course, this will going to be our parameter here. And okay, so let's save this one. Let's see only if it works fine. It has to be rendered at the bottom. Oh no, one minute. Of course, it has to be rendered over here on our render response over here. So booking summary is somewhere here. So probably I can just make a very simple summary is already here now, but 1 minute. How will I maintain this? Maybe I'll just okay, no problem. I can remove this okay, no, right, because we are now in the DOM. Okay, definitely doesn't work like that anymore, so it's okay to delete this. And now I will just make probably h5 here, header. Anyhow, it's not mentioned what specific header number, so I'll just make this one a guest ID example. And I will going to display with a JavaScript over here, of course, which is mentioned on the top, which is the state, not the state, but the guest ID, which is mentioned there. So let's see this one. This should work now. Perhaps if I type here 1 2 3 4, yeah, it appears there. So let me just complete the rest of the state variables, just displaying with the respect to the use state. Okay, so probably I can just copy this one and paste it over our room number. I think this is the room number, right? Yeah, but the room number is, I think it's a different element. Yeah, our room number, okay, it's still a text box. Okay, we're good. So we can paste it over here, and I will just set the room number. What is that? Set room no, right? So let's paste it over here. All right, so next is on change, going to our room type. Okay, the room type is the list. Yeah, it's the list box there, but though we have some option which is we can just get put the parameter on the select on change, but this one is a little different now. We will be on change in the event, right? So this will be equal to the set room type. Where is that one? Set room type would be this one. Okay, so we're going to use that, invoke it here, set room type, and Okay, perhaps this event will not work yet, but we'll see. Yeah, there will be some error at the moment, so the on change event is not yet defined as at the moment. It's not yet declared. But what if I make it the E at the moment? Right, so you will just make this one later, as we'll just invoke this event later whenever we are needing now the event here. So we will going to set a new variable later on the event. Okay, perhaps we'll just keep that one for a while and go back to another element, which is the number of days. So this would be set number of days. So set no days, set no of days. Okay, we'll put it over here. Okay, this one is no days. Probably we'll do this one later a bit, right? Right. Okay, so it should not come an error here. Okay, one more. Okay, the room type as well is okay, we have also room type. The room type. Okay, we're done with the room type. Okay, now we have to invoke this one, probably rendering later with the server response. But for the meantime, we just wanted to test whether it works. Our information should be displayed later here, right, in our booking summary. Okay, let's perhaps work on this button, and this is going to be invoked with on change. Oh no, it's on click, of course. I'm going to use an on click over here. On click, right, this will be JavaScript on the book room. Right, so save it. So let's just complete the rendering over here with the summary. Okay, we have the number of days. Okay, number of days. So this will be no of day. Wait, I can just go up there and copy it only. No of days. Right over here, and working on the other one is displaying room type. Okay, room type is actually I delete that part, but okay, this is room type. I'll just put it here, room type, and this should be room type as well. Right, this would be room type. Right, so daily rate should be also mentioned. This will gonna be a computed one now from the daily rate, depending on the selected daily rate state variable. Right, so let's capture this one and put it here as a JavaScript, and probably we can use some condition later. We can put it on the function, or either we can just display it as well here later. But let's see. Oops. Same example for the total. If this will compute properly, we will also display this one, total bill. Right, so let's use the total bill state here, variable here, okay, and paste it over here. Right, so just for the meantime, our function E event is pretty much not yet um, defined, yeah, because we haven't set yet the event here. mm, okay, so one sec, let's see how it looks now. Alright, so I have this output now, let's say 101, room number, okay, well, room number is not appearing, the room number, okay, number of days, room number is different as well, so I did not use that one, room number, okay. Right, one sec, I think I'm making a number of rooms, okay, room number. This is room, okay, number. Okay, now let's look for the room number. Room no, it's a state variable there. So this would be room no. Okay, let's save it. I must be seeing that one, 101. Yes, this one is not yet working. A number of days 2. Right, if I click this one, there you go. It's coming though. Right, but only deluxe. Right, so it's not yet working properly. So the event, which is the E, is not yet invoked there. So which means over here, let me just capture once again this one. So on change, because this element now is a part of the select. So which means either you can use a map as well or an array, but this one is straightforward from our JavaScript. We can just work on this event. Okay, the event later on will be based on the value that will be going to be selected. So this will be select on change, right? JavaScript, okay, this one will be set room type. Okay, let me capture it so that I will not be having a mistake here. Right there, this is a function, equals function that will be targeted in that particular value. Okay, this must be also be event. Alright, and it has to be event here so that it will not be clashing. Okay, let's see if it works properly now. Right, so if is it standard, it would be 50. Okay, this is 100, and suite and deluxe it's 70. Okay, let's just number of days, of course. Let's say for standard it would be 25, so that's correct, we're getting 25. Say for suite it would be 50. All right, and then deluxe would be 35. So which means that will be based on the calculation of number of guests, number of stay, guest stayed, and daily rate, and the total bill will depends on that equation. And I think the number of days also increase, but the number of person it's not mentioned there. Right, example 2 days. Okay, let's compute in book room, it's 50. Right, suite room is 100, and then deluxe is 70. All right, so this will pretty much complete our part of here. So later probably we can work now with the issues, but then probably we can jump first in our back end so that we could create our server in the index.js connectivity. Perhaps we can also work on this one by sending an issues straight from our MongoDB, right? So that we can use uh, your Thunder client just to check whether your API works, right? So see you from the next video, and we will continue that one working on the back end and as well as on the issues part of our front end.